Welcome back to the channel, folks. In today's video, we discuss what in the actual hell is going on in Milwaukee. It's actually pretty simple, although it is very dynamic and it's a fluid situation that has been changing like by the hour. But the position is very clear. The intentions are obvious and deliberate, and I think people have it misunderstood. So I wanted to make this video. So first of all, let's just go through all the moves that Milwaukee has made and what this means for Giannis, because that's what all this is about. That's the end game. This is about Giannis competing for a title, them trying to capture the physical prime and peak of a future legend, right? A guy who has won a championship, league MVP status every year, a phenomenal talent, a unique player across any era. So first of all, most recently, this news just broke. Pat Connaughton has been traded from Milwaukee for Vasilije Micić. I hope I said the name right. This is also going to move 2 second-round picks from Milwaukee in exchange for Vasilije. I forget how to pronounce it. Anyways, this is a guard for a guard trade, although it's more of like a shooting guard trade for a point guard, looking for a specific role. Obviously, waiving Damian Lillard opens up opportunities for additional guard play at the position. But I guess Vasilije brings the point guard skills. Obviously, he's a flawed player. He's mediocre athlete, below average defender kind of deal. But he does bring playmaking. He is a good passer. He can score. Although he has had limited roles in his time in the NBA, it may be a position that he fulfills and plays a prominent role moving forward. So we'll have to wait and see. But he does offer those types of strengths. He's got those active leadership skills, floor general qualities at the position, something that obviously the Bucks will need based on the injury that Lillard sustained being out and then just being waived subsequently. Anyways, next thing is Gary Harris Jr. being signed. A rotational piece with playoff experience. He's a wing that offers solid perimeter defense, passable spot-up shooting, three-point shooting, although a bit streaky. He's filling in a need. The defense and the shooting to go alongside with Giannis. Notice the pieces they're trying to put in place to give Giannis the support within those roles. And he will probably have a pretty prominent role in the team. We're probably looking at a guy who's going to play at the bare minimum 20 minutes a game, maybe 25 minutes a game. It's a free agent signing. They're bringing him in for a reason. Next, we might as well just address the elephant in the room, is the release of Damian Lillard. Unavailable due to a severe injury, praying for the best, and hopefully he recovers and he's able to kind of get some quality years, left out of his career. But his recovery and subsequent timeline of rejoining any team is not on Giannis's timeline, unfortunately. That move is very, very clear, whether Giannis likes it or not. It's an unrealistic expectation to think he's coming back next year in a timely fashion and contributing to a playoff run of any sort. So that's kind of how it is, and it's going to be a huge salary hit. They're probably going to defer that over multiple years, but the Bucks are going to be eating the cost of waiving him because NBA contracts are guaranteed. All right, next we have the Miles Turner acquisition in a free agent signing. 4 years, $107 million. This is a stretch big, a reliable defender, some outside shooting. He has proven to be able to do that a little bit. Good playoff run, poor finals performance. But with the vacancy of Brook Lopez, you needed that type of productivity at the position that has kind of shown to be effective for supporting Giannis. It really does make sense. They also re-signed Gary Trent Jr. I think this is a slam dunk. He's a good player. Did a lot for them last year, especially in that round in the playoffs. What are you going to do? You need players to play. He's shown to be effective. That's an obvious thing for them. Next, you have the re-signing of Taurean Prince. His role may be reduced in the following season, but they're going to need some depth. Players in and out of the lineup. You need guys on the roster. It makes sense for them. And then lastly, kind of to address Brook Lopez leaving his vacancy on the roster. He signs with the Clippers as a free agent. Miles Turner then to kind of fill in his role, fill in his shoes as the players have moved on. Look, I'm trying to be very clear in my position. The Milwaukee Bucks are under construction. The analogy I could give you is this is a house that has been demolished right? Rooms are getting demoed, and they're going to be reconstructed with new pieces, a new vanity, a new shower head, a new bath, new floors. They're trying to rebuild this thing on a Giannis timeline. It's not that they're not trying. That's obvious. Now, if this ends up working, it remains to be seen. But they are clearly trying to move pieces around, remain financially flexible in case there's a bigger move to be had, either this year or next year or whatever. They're trying to do their best to do what's best for Giannis. It's clear. Giannis should not be mad. Giannis should be at least satisfied that work is being done to improve the team and try things that could work. Could you imagine being a star on the Pacers, a star on the Lakers, the Celtics, the Hornets, the Kings, the Pelicans, the Blazers, where nothing makes sense, or they're liquidating assets, or clearly just making salary dumps? This is the exact opposite of that. This is a team that knows that with Giannis, they can compete in the playoffs. They're just going to continue to try to bolster the roster and the supporting cast. Giannis saying he's unhappy, it doesn't make sense right now. If you're unhappy with the fact that Dame Lillard got injured. That's bad fortune. If you're unhappy, it would be because the Bucks aren't trying, but they clearly are. I don't understand what he's unhappy about. At least not to the responsibility of the Bucks. They're working and they're trying. This is absurdity to say that what the Bucks are doing is not effective, or they're not trying, or they're not doing a good job. They are absolutely working to give this guy a supporting cast to help him make deep runs in the playoffs. We'll see if it pans out. We'll see if there's any moves left. Sorry for the long-winded video. I don't typically make videos that exceed like 7 minutes in length, but it has to be said. The Bucks are under construction. They are working to try to build this thing for Giannis. It is clear. And if he leaves, he will be leaving a franchise that did try to help get him a roster. What they're trying to do is not easy. It is not easy to get players to come to Milwaukee. Often you have to overpay in cities like that, and things of that nature. But, the great players aren't lining up to play with Giannis, or they're not lining up to play in Milwaukee, however you want to look at it. But the Bucks are working. Got to hand it to them. Got to give it to them. The effort is there. How this ends up, we'll have to wait and see. That's for next season to dictate. Anyways, tell me what you guys think of the moves. Tell me what you think of my reasoning, what I've identified, and the roles of these players, and how things could look moving forward for the Bucks and Giannis. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.